saddlehunter.com. I wanted to kind of go over how I attach Amstel to the Fleece Saddle because I came up with a way that works really well for me. First of all, the first question I was asked was, will 1/4 inch Amstel work? It absolutely will. This is the original saddle I played around with, and I used 1/4 inch Amstel and it worked fine. $2 at Walmart is how much that fleece cost me. But the purpose of this video is to just kind of cover how you can girth hitch a permanent Amstel bridge onto just fleece material to make a saddle. So the first method that people talk about over on that original post, I'm sorry I'm disorganized, I wasn't planning on making this video, but basically you fold the ends over in halves and you just keep folding it over until you gather it together, and then you girth hitch around that with the idea that this will be bigger than where you girth hitch and it won't come off. And I've proven to myself that's absolutely true. But if you already have your loops tied on your Amstel, how can you attach both on there? And it's really a simple process. You take a loop, and hopefully this is going to show where you can see it. You take your loop and you fold it over itself. And that'll create what I call 2 bunny ears, all right? And then you simply grab those 2 ropes in the middle and pull it through, and that forms your loop, okay? That's actually just a girth hitch like you do around a tree. You take your folded ends, you put that through, leave about 1 inch hanging over, and you tighten that down. And once you get that locked down, put pressure on there, that's not coming over that end. All right, you can pull on that as hard as you want. It's not going to come over that. I actually jumped on mine and it would not come loose. And no, I didn't tear the Predator fleece. The problem with girth hitching is as soon as you take the pressure off of it, that loosens up. And so it can come off in your saddle or in your backpack or whatever. Same thing happens when you loosen your tether on a tree. If you just single wrap it, it'll come down. So what I did is I came up with a method of tying what I call the double girth for this. And probably somebody already does this. I don't know. I didn't go and research it. I tried it and it worked for me. But basically, you do the same exact thing. You take your Amstel loop, you fold it over, you form the 2 bunny ears. Now this time, instead of grabbing them, take each one and turn it a half turn towards the outside. Then just line your 2 loops up. If I can get my hands to work. And then you hold the loop just like you did. And you do the same thing. You roll that over the edge. Now you're going to have to pull and work this down and really tighten it down. Okay? But once you do, once again, on that gathered end, you're not going to pull that off. The nice thing about doing it this way, the double girth, is once you let the pressure off, it doesn't come undone. It holds it on there in place so that if you throw it in your backpack or whatever and carry it in, it's not coming undone on you. But then let's say you're like me and you want to wash it after every hunt. What I'm going to do is I'm probably going to actually make about 10 of these saddles and 10 Amstels. But when I get home at the end of the day, you could actually probably wash your Amstel, but I'm not going to. It'll take a little effort, but you work some slack back into this knot. And once you do that, it'll slide right back over the edge. So now you have your Amstel bridge with 2 loops. And you have a piece of fleece. Okay, and that can be thrown in the washing machine, washed. As everyone knows, you hang it outside for probably 10 minutes and it's dry, especially if the wind's blowing. So for $2, you can make a saddle if you already have the Amstel. If you have 1 Amstel with the loops tied, you're ready to go. You can go to Walmart tonight, buy 1 yard of fleece material 4 foot wide, and make a saddle tonight. You do not have to sew these things. Now, me personally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Predator fleece. I probably will fold mine in half. I may not. But I'm going to get it to a size. I'm going to keep playing with this to where I get this to where it's sized perfect for me. That gives me all the comfort and the back support that I want, but yet it's still small enough, or as small as it can be. And then I'm going to hem up my edges, and I'm going to actually fold my end over and stitch it up 3 times. Run a little piece of rope to it to where it pulls a gathered end like that. The only real advantage is it looks a little bit cleaner than the folded end, but really there's no difference. Okay, and fleece, if you buy polar fleece, if you can cut this with scissors and it doesn't come apart. And it's not going to tear there. And unfortunately, someone made a post on my comment today on Saddle Hunter about predator fleece not holding up. I can tell you in my experience that's absolutely untrue. I actually had met and talked with the originator of Predator Camo probably 2.5, 3 decades ago. Mark Berger, I think his last name was. And I had ordered fleece way back then. When he first started producing fleece, I sent it over to Kathy Kelly, who made custom backpacks. And I've been using Predator fleece backpacks made out of fleece for over 2 decades. I still have the same backpacks. They've never worn out. And I've quartered elk out in them. I've thrown rocks in them. I've carried my platforms in them. I've even stuck elk quarters in them and packed it out, camping gear. I've never tore a hole in them. I've never had a backpack wear out. Now, can you rip it or tear it? Yeah, anything sharp on fabric eventually will cut. But fleece is a heck of a lot tougher than what you think. So what I would recommend, and first of all, safety disclaimer. The way I use a saddle is just as a hunting device. I will probably put a little bit of a waist belt just at the edge of it just to hold it on, but I may not even do that. I don't use my saddle as a fall restraint device. I've got a Black Diamond Collier, I think it is, harness that weighs about 1 pound that I've sewed lineman's loops on, and it's got a rated loop in the back. So that's what I use for my fall restraint and my lineman's belt and to carry my stick and platform up the tree. I put the saddle on once I'm up in the tree, and my saddle is just to hunt from and position me and give me a tool to where I can sit and wait, and yet it allows me 360 mobility to get shots that I couldn't get off of a regular stand, and I certainly couldn't get off of trying to walk around a tree. And I demonstrate some of that in my 360, but let me just give you one scenario of a deer that's almost impossible to shoot walking around a ring of steps. At least in my experience, I get busted more times unless you're up like 30 foot. You got a buck that's quartering towards you from your left, if you're right-handed. Coming right towards you, walks right beside the tree, never giving you a shot except for a front-on shot. Then, instead of him walking out back towards your left, he goes directly behind you. Now he's behind you quartering away. With the ring of steps, you got 2 alternatives. You can try to walk around the tree like this and turn and make the shot. A lot of movement. Or you can go back this way and raise your bow over and try to make the shot. A lot of movement. What I can do in my saddle is I'll rotate it the opposite way I want to turn. So in my case, I'm going to loosen my rock climbing harness about 3 or 4 inches to allow me enough flexibility to turn. I'm going to rotate my saddle while he's coming towards me. I'm going to reach up and grab my bow. Once he's right under me, I'm going to take small baby steps like this and rotate in my tree to where I now can take that shot completely behind me. Very little movement, okay? I haven't been pegged by a buck doing that yet. Another hard situation is when a deer is coming from your right quartering towards you, not giving you a good shot. You'd have to go over while he's coming to you, and then instead of coming out the backside to where you could turn like that, they veer off and go off this way. Now, once again, you have to lift over your bridge, or with the ring of steps, you have to try to walk around this way and shoot, or you walk around this way and lift over and shoot. Once again, with mine, I'm like this. I move my saddle behind the tree while he's walking towards me, grab my bow. As he's walking by me and veering off, I'm making movements like this. Okay? Very hard to detect. And then once I'm here, I'm now able to rotate just my torso and make the shot. Far less movement using a saddle, 360, the way I use it, but that's a whole nother video. But here's what I want to say. I think these are absolutely safe, used in conjunction with the rock climbing harness, but everyone will have to assume that risk for themselves. What I would encourage you to do that costs you $2, get you some paracord, make you a 24-inch bridge with about 6-inch loops on it, run down to Walmart, buy 1 yard of fleece, Cost you about $3, $4 depending on the fleece. Bring it home. Cut it to the size they tell you to out there on the original post. Fold the ends up like they show you in the video, and it's nothing more than folding it in halves like I showed you until you get it compressed. Take your loop, attach it with the double hitch like I showed you. Take your tether out to a pole, a tree, or whatever. Stay on the ground. Attach it at eye level. Hook your saddle up in it and sit in it. And see for yourself how comfortable these things are. Then what I want you to realize is for $2 to $4, you have an unlimited supply of saddles. You don't have to rely on a manufacturer staying in business, long order delays, $300 for a saddle, $2. You already have the am still, okay? $2 per saddle. And once again, as far as the durability, try it. Go try it and see for yourself. And then, report back on this video or post it on saddlehunter.com. And like I said, this isn't my idea. I'm not this smart. I would have never thought fleece would make a good saddle. But when Sam Potter posted that, I actually PM'd him and talked to him. And he told me he'd used it all last year and how comfortable it was and stuff. And so I was like, well, what the heck? For $2, I'll go give it a try. I went down to Walmart. It absolutely blew me away how comfortable this was. And it gives me all the flexibility and things that I want in a saddle. It also has enough, if you use the original dimensions, it'll cover you all the way from your back to your knees and cradle you in that. And it stretches to conform. There's no pressure points. All the things you hear people complain about with the saddle, the Fleece Saddle takes care of that. The only concern I've ever heard about is it might get hot. And someone posted this on that original post that it doesn't get hot because it stretches. And I will tell you, I haven't got to use this in the summertime yet, but out in my yard messing with it, I have to agree, it stretches out enough. And I don't think it was any hotter than like a new Tribe saddle or the old, the trophy line tree saddles were just, I have an ambush mesh one and I have the old leather one. The leather one was definitely far hotter than the fleece. But like I said, the main advantages of this is, one, for $2 you can make your own saddle. 2, you can make numerous saddles. 3, you can take these off and wash them very easily and dry them out within an hour and have it ready to go again. As low cost as this is, you can have many different saddles prepared to where you can use a new fresh saddle every day, especially if you're into scent control. But to me, the most important thing is it's comfortable. It allows a 360 shooting. And once again, I'm not tied to some manufacturer that could be here today and gone tomorrow. I have a saddle that I can replicate from home with easy to get material. Amsteel is very easy to get, and so is fleece. And that's the only two things you need to make a functional hunting saddle. So I hope this video helps. If you have any questions on the knot, PM me. I'll try to make another close-up video when I have someone over here that can do it. But once again, let me just show you this real quickly. You know what? Let me grab the camera and I'll do this close-up if I can. Or I'll probably just have to do it right in front of the camera. You take a loop, you fold it over, okay? To do just a girth hitch, you pull this through, and there's your girth hitch, okay? To do the double girth hitch, you fold it over like I just showed you, and rather than grabbing this and pulling it through, take each one of these loops and twist them a half turn towards the outside, fold them together, open them up, put your material through there, and now you can see the knot that's going to pull down on that, okay? And once you tighten that up, it don't untighten. It stays locked down, okay? So that to me is a great advantage for this knot over just girth hitching. Both work. This one's really easy to get off too. You just have to work at it. So let me know if the video helped at all and if you want to know anything else about it. But once again, thanks to Just Some Dude, Sam Potter, BC Hunter, all those guys who brought this from the hammock world into the saddle hunting world.